Hello DVC STEM majors. This video is about which first math class you should take as a STEM major here at DVC starting in fall 2025. There is a disclaimer, this video is for general advising. Please do talk to a DVC counselor to confirm your first math class for your major in place of transfer. And then as a heads up, there are some STEM majors that might need to take Math 182 instead of Math 192. So another good reason to check in with a DVC counselor. This video is just going to focus on Math 192 and the route to it. We will not be discussing Math 182. I want to show you the traditional STEM math pathway leading up to Calculus. Calculus 1, our Math 192 class. Traditionally, students would take Trigonometry, and then Precalculus, and then Calculus. That route might change, so that's what we're going to talk about in this video. Which class you start with depends on how you feel about your trigonometry and algebra skills and which math class you passed in high school. So let's go ahead and begin. Let's start with trigonometry. Should you start with trigonometry, which is Math 121 or Math 121L, our support course for trigonometry? So my first question for you is, did you pass trigonometry in high school? If yes, then you should not sign up for Math 121, and please go ahead and fast forward the video to the next slide. Did you pass intermediate algebra in high school? If no, you should take trigonometry as your first math class at DVC. Math 121 meets for 3 hours per week, and Math 121L meets for 5 hours per week. Because it's the support course, it meets for an additional 2 hours that are meant for extra support. Should you start with Precalculus, which is Math 191? Well, did you pass Precalculus in high school? If yes, then you should not sign up for Math 191, and please go ahead, fast forward to the next slide. Did you pass intermediate algebra in high school? If yes, then you are welcome to begin in Math 191 to review algebra and quickly learn trigonometry. To give you some choices, Trig is taught less than 8 weeks in Math 191, this Precalculus class. In Math 121, our trigonometry course, Trig is taught for 16 weeks. So you do have 2 choices on which math class you'd like to start with. It just depends on how you feel about learning a new topic and how much time you need for it. So again, you do have a choice between Trig, taking Trig, or starting with Precalculus. Math 191 meets for 5 hours per week, and Math 191L, which is the support course, meets for 6 hours per week for that extra hour of support. One last thing, the trig and algebra covered in Math 191 assists with the trig and algebra needed for the entire calculus series, Math 192, 193, and 292. If you did not pass Precalculus and plan to eventually take 193 and on, it is highly recommended that you take Math 191. Should you start with Calculus 1, Math 192? Did you pass Precalculus in high school? If yes, then you should sign up for Calculus 1, Math 192, with or without support. So more about Math 192 without support. Math 192 expects you to know algebra and trigonometry. It's okay if you forget it, but when reminded, you gain it back quickly. The class meets 5 hours per week. So let's go to the next slide to talk more about 192 with support. So should you start with 192 with support? So that's 192 and Math 002. The 2 courses combined meet with the same instructor for 7 hours per week. The additional 2 hours are meant to review algebra and trigonometry material needed for that week. If you passed Precalculus but you don't feel confident about your algebra and trig skills, this might be a better option than taking Math 192 by itself. If you passed intermediate algebra and did not pass Precalculus, then you may still take this course, but please expect putting in extra hours outside of the class to better understand the algebra and trigonometry needed. If you're up for the challenge, go for it. If you plan to take Calculus 2, which is Math 193, afterwards, then there will be different topics of algebra and trigonometry needed that the Calc 1 support class might not go over. If you did not pass Precalculus, then it is highly recommended to take Math 191, Precalculus, if you plan to take Calculus 2. I hope that was helpful. Again, please do check in with a DVC counselor to talk about your options as well. Have a great semester.